Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with your final hot take of the evening. Um, the election, Trump's various lawsuits, may have all been a distraction. Why? Well, while all this craziness is going on, guess what happened? SCOTUS, conservative justices now preside over every circuit court key to Trump's victory. The new circuit assignments were confirmed on Friday. You see, it's a picture of Clarence Thomas as as the wizard from Harry Potter. Which was that? Dumbledore? I guess that's Dumbledore. Um, SCOTUS has confirmed new circuit assignments that result in conservative justices having jurisdiction almost all key states key to Trump's victory. Following the death of SCOTUS Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg in September, President Trump appointed Amy Coney Barrett to replace her in the courts. With the new justice in SCOTUS, there's also a need to reshuffle control of the circuit courts. Each SCOTUS justice presides over one or more of America's 13 court circuits as a circuit justice. As SCOTUS blog explains, a circuit justice is primarily responsible for emergency requests, for example, an application to block an execution or to allow it to go forward from the geographic area covered by his or her circuit, as well as more mundane matters such as requests to extend filing deadlines. However, justices can and often do refer significant emergency requests to the full court, a role that has taken on increased importance in recent years with the sharp uptick in activity on the court's shadow docket. So, SCOTUS's so-called shadow docket for the circuits is especially important in the cases relating to the aftermath of the 2020 presidential election, where President Trump and his campaign team are contesting many of the early results in key states. Justice Alito granted such an emergency stay on the shadow docket related to the election in Pennsylvania. See, Jones getting very excited. So this has been going around on Twitter. Brett M. Kavanaugh, Michigan. Amy Coney Barrett, Wisconsin. Samuel A. Alito, Pennsylvania. Clarence Thomas, Georgia. Effective November 20th, 2020, order pursuant to Title 28, United States Code, Section 42. The only disputed state that does not have a conservative justice in charge is Arizona, which falls under the famously liberal Ninth Circuit, where Justice Kagan remains in charge. But they may not need that one. Arizona's so close, and they're still counting the votes, I think. I don't even know. But this might be the sleight of hand that everything else was the distraction. Because if this is the case, and these justices have that much sway, then you've essentially stacked the court in your favor. Trump can get just about any ruling he wants, really. These justices are going to bend over backwards for him. Well, maybe not Alito, but so far, I mean, so far he ruled in favor of Trump. So far that court's going Trump. If he got these three states, if these three states were completely overturned, that would be it, right? Let's get an election map going. Let's see. Electoral map 2020. Oh, who do we got? That's not what we want. Let's see. ABC News. That'll be fair. Okay, just let me in. Just let me in. Let's do this one. Okay, so this looks like where it stands now. So Biden's 306, Trump's 232. So let's say he takes PA. That puts him pretty good shape, right? I think PA is a definite. Seems like it's headed. PA is definitely in his favor. Georgia, 268. Biden, 270. And then Wisconsin, boom. Boom. Trump wins it. Trump wins it in that case. There's no going to court. He gets the Electoral College. He wins. And he can continue, the other investigations whenever. Listening to Rudy's press conference, he mentioned Virginia, which I thought was going for Trump before I went to bed. He was still winning. They kept saying, oh, no, he's not going to win Virginia because they haven't counted Richmond or whatever, but maybe he won Virginia too. Maybe once this all shakes out, Virginia might go his way. I mean, they're saying that Nevada's definitely corrupt, and, that's very close. Arizona, of course, is very close, and New Mexico is actually having a lot of problems too. So this might be the final tally when all is said and done. Oh, I forgot Michigan. Now, some people were saying 400 votes, but I don't really see how he could have gotten 400. I mean, he would have to get Virginia, Minnesota, which I guess is possible. I think New Hampshire was in the mix for a short time. How the hell does he make up 57? I mean, he'd have to get like, I mean, here in New Jersey, there are rumors he won New Jersey, but I mean, who knows? He'd have to get something big like Illinois and, even New York. I don't see that happening. That seems like a big stretch to me. I mean, come on, Illinois and New York, but and New Jersey. I mean, I wanted to. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to see New Jersey go red, but yeah, this seems a little more possible. Colorado, I'm not surprised, has gone very liberal. But, the Southwest tends to be very rugged, tends to be very independent. But, even if you eliminate these guys and you show the map like this, it's still very much in Trump's favor. I mean, even getting rid of Michigan. So, this is the way it could go, people. It could have all been a sleight of hand. Either that or the Trump campaign is just, I think part of a wise strategy is to pursue all avenues simultaneously and try to win on every front, and win, that way you win one like the other ones, even though you were winning the other ones too, it becomes moot. I think the final backup plan is going to SCOTUS, and that would be, well, it wouldn't be easy, but going to SCOTUS, I think, and ending up as a delegate president, it's not what he wants. I think he wants to win. It's seen as more legitimate if he wins. And then, people can scream about all day long, oh, he stole the election, he disenfranchised people, and, then we could argue about the malfeasance of the vote, if in fact there was some. But it's really hard to deny. I've lived in South Jersey a long time, and it's really hard to deny that Philadelphia is not corrupt. I mean, you'd have to be pretty blind to say, oh, no, that's a very honest city. Philly's had all sorts of problems. It's not as bad as, say, Atlantic City, but it's pretty bad. I mean, we've had quite a few scandals over the years, and even just in a normal year, the Philadelphia government can't pay for its own schools, and that in and of itself is a scandal as far as I'm concerned, that these people spend so much money they can't even fund their own schools, and you expect them to be able to handle an important vote like this and not muck around with it. These guys have been re-electing themselves for decades upon decades in these major cities. Chicago is known for corruption. New York, you know, Philly, all these East Coast and Midwest cities, they're just rife with corruption because, you know, why wouldn't they be? There's lots of money involved in these cities. There's lots of contracts and unions. And, you know, Republicans, while they're in the mix sometimes in these places because Republicans have money classically and big business guys occasionally win out, guys like Trump or Bloomberg or whatever. But, you know, they're not the norm. They're not the machine. The machine is run by Democrats in those cities. Republicans tend to, you know, they tend to go to these other states that are more rural, that are more religious. In a lot of ways, they didn't need a machine to win, the Republicans. They were always the default winners in a lot of states. So they never really developed those kinds of skills. It just wasn't feasible on their end. Now, do some Republicans cheat? Yeah, I'm sure they do. But it's, you know, if you're a real Republican, if you're all about God and country and, you know, all the usual things Republicans are about, you know, they kind of don't have to, depending on where they live. Like if you're gonna be a Republican and run in Massachusetts, as Mitt Romney did, then that's a bit of a different story. But even he, you know, he just essentially became a centrist Democrat in order to win. Yeah, I mean, the map is going to change. The map is definitely going to change. One way or another, Trump's going to get another 4 years. I don't even think he's worried about it. I think he's more worried about capturing as many people as possible who are involved in this stuff so he can keep his other campaign promise, which, of course, is drain the swamp.